Tank recently tweeted out some stuff about you. How personal did you take that?
It's not personal. Everybody has their opinion. It's not personal. I just don't. I don't like the guy because of that. I just don't like the guy for what I hear and what I see. You know, I think he's a piece of shit. I honestly do. He's a piece of shit. You know, you put your hand on women like that, bro. You're a piece of shit in my book, bro. You're not a man. You know, my dad always told me you're a coward. You do something like that. You a coward. Deep down inside, you a coward. Because you got to pick on somebody that can't even defend themselves, bro. That's not right. And I don't care about the what happened and all the whatever he's saying afterwards. And she did this and she did that. Boy, you got enough money to go buy so many toothbrushes. So shit, you can buy a toothbrush company probably. All the money you got, you know, who cares? Obviously, you with the wrong one. Obviously, you did something to piss her off. I'm rooting for him. I want him to win because I'm not a fan of Tank. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of him. I'm not a fan of what he does and how the way he operates outside the ring. You know, and I want Ryan Garcia to knock his ass out, knock him out, sit him on his pants, give him a rude awakening. So I can hope. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. Stylistically, there's some problems that I see that could serve Ryan Garcia up. And if he can fix these problems moving forward in this fight, then he has a damn chance, a damn good chance, a puncher's chance. And with his speed, his quickness, and his youth, he got a chance, no doubt about it. But he got to fix these holes first. And I'm not gonna give you that. You got a trainer. I ain't getting paid for this. You got a trainer, bro. He can tell you what it is.
What's good, Just Do family, man? It's your boy KB. Back to get boxing is Just Do one more time, man. So, man, what y'all just heard was none other than Ninja Turtle Timothy Bradley, aka Donatello Bradley. You know what I'm saying? AKA Ninja Turtle Bradley. You know, we got many names for this dude, man. He has some very choice, interesting words, some very strong words for Gervonta Tank Davis about his recent, personal situation that took place between him and the mother of his kid. And, he went on to say, Tank is a piece of, and he don't like him and he don't like the way he move outside of the ring. He doesn't, he don't, he's not a fan of Tank Davis, simply put, and he said he didn't care about, what Tank released in terms of what the female had done to the toothbrushes and things like that. And you put your hands on a woman, you a coward. And I agree with him. But the problem is, Ninja Turtle Bradley, is you deemed this man guilty before all the details came out, like most of these ignorant boxing journalists, analysts, commentators, whatever y'all want to call yourself. And I find it to be very irresponsible. And it's very interesting how, the interviewer asked you, was it personal? And you said it wasn't personal, but you went on to immediately get into his personal business. You didn't speak about boxing. You know what I mean? That was personal when you started talking about his legal situation with his female, the domestic situation that turned out to be he didn't put his hand on her. And that came straight from her mouth. And as y'all seen, I put the statement that the female released as well, saying that, he didn't never put his hands on her, and she took accountability for her part in the situation. And, they both need help, and she said they was both going to get the help they needed, the counseling they needed, which was good for the situation and good for the kid. You get what I'm saying? But I think it was very irresponsible of Tim Bradley to come out and criticize this man and, demonize him basically and deem him guilty before the details came out. And it seemed pretty personal to me. You said it wasn't personal, but it seemed personal to me. And then you went as so far as you pretty much rooting on this dude's downfall. You want Ryan to knock him out. You get what I'm saying? You want Ryan to knock him out all because of something that didn't happen, that you thought happened. And if you would have been a more responsible and waited till the details came out, then you wouldn't have had that to say. Now you sitting here looking stupid, and I guarantee you won't retract none of those statements. You won't apologize for saying he put his hands on a woman, knowing that that's not the case. Now that you have all the details out, you have a full written out release statement from the mother of his child saying he did not, in fact, put his hands on her and she should not have made that phone call. You get what I'm saying? So now certain people got to eat crow, but they're not going to make any retraction videos. They're not going to take back anything they said because you want me to be honest, I mean, I think some of these old guys in boxing and some of these retired fighters, they just waited for an opportunity to take shots at Tank Davis because they coming off as bitter and jealous, man. And, he took jabs at Tank resume in another interview. And it's like, it goes on and on. What has Tank ever done to Timothy Bradley? He's not even in your generation, in your class of fighters, for you to constantly speak on him so negatively. So it seems to me that it's personal. You do a lot of critiquing, man, but at the end of the day, he's the one getting in there. He's handling his business. He's winning, and he's winning impressively, continuously getting knockouts, something you don't know too much about. Mr. 13 knockouts with over 30 pro wins. You get what I'm saying? This is not good for boxing. You almost was teetering on that line of tearing him down. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was undeserving. You should have waited till the details came out, but instead you wanted to make a personal rant and run your mouth and hoping that this guy gets knocked out by Ryan Garcia, a guy that's known for pulling out, very inexperienced. He's not proven, never fought a world champion, nowhere near the level of a Tank Davis, but you talking about speed and quickness and his youth. You get what I'm saying? Like Tank old or something. Man, you get what I'm saying? The man is 28 years old. Yeah, Ryan is younger than him, but Tank is still young. He's in the prime of his career. So the youth is not going to play a factor in that fight. And you better hope your man Ryan Garcia find his way to the ring, because already you got these reports coming out with Oscar talking about he ain't got a contract, but then you got conflicting reports because Ryan said he seen the contract. So the same contract Oscar De La Hoya said he didn't get, Ryan Garcia claims he seen. And you did all this talking in April, goodbye, Tank, it's over for you. April, you'll see him and you're going to knock him out in 2 rounds. And, like Tank said, he want to see what all this talking is about. You've been doing a lot of talking. Now your promoter right on cue is trying to find that out by giving a deadline. You don't see something by Monday, you moving forward. Man, get out of here, man. This clout chasing got to stop. It's been going on long enough. Ryan Garcia, either get in there with that man Tank Davis or stop clout chasing his name. It's ridiculous and it's coming off. It's weird, man. You don't want to fight that man, stop speaking on his name. But Tank Davis been receiving a lot of hate from people in the boxing community, man. And it's sad to say that some of these guys were fighters. Instead of being supportive in a situation where he would need people, you want to kick him while he's down, and come to find out he's not even guilty of the things that people were accusing him of. It's sad to see that this is where we at in boxing, man. You guilty until proven innocent, not innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not here to defend Tank Davis. Like Ninja Turtle Bradley said, he got money. Yeah, he can get the best defense team and defend himself. He got a left and a right hand with more power than anybody in his weight class, so he can defend himself. He don't need JusDue to come here and defend him, as I've always said. But at the end of the day, I'm all about supporting boxing, uplifting boxing, trying to grow the sport of boxing, making responsible content. And I felt like Timothy Ninja Turtle Bradley was very irresponsible with his words. You know what I mean? People should be a lot more careful with what they say and what they put out there, because they're on these big platforms just bumping their gums and saying anything irresponsibly to anybody that'll listen. And I just think that's foul. I think Tank Davis been getting a lot of unnecessary hate. At the end of the day, we all make mistakes. I do not in any way, shape, or fashion condone domestic violence at all. But again, I'm a firm believer of letting the details come out before I go bumping my guns, running my mouth, and making videos and interviews, making it personal. First thing you say is it's not personal, but then you get right into his personal business. You ain't talking about the sport of boxing when you speaking of his domestic situation. That's personal, bro. It's public because he's a public figure. So I understand that. Hold his foot to the fire if he was guilty of anything he was accused of. But then you come to find out that she released a statement that then cleared his name. Now you won't hear Ninja Turtle Bradley coming back and saying, it's a good thing that, they found a way to work it out. He didn't do what he was accused of doing, and salute him. Tip your hat for him. You know what I mean? He said he didn't do it, and it turns out he didn't do it. You know what I mean? But you got some people that's still gonna come out and say what they want. And like I said, at the end of the day, it's a lot of grown men that's jealous of other grown men in the sport of boxing. And it's not just Tank Davis, and it's coming off as weird. And I'm starting to be able to see through it. And these irresponsible former boxers and these Hall of Famers, all these guys, they don't stick together at the end of the day. They crap on the younger generation. You know what I mean? And they complain and they be overly critical. You got Timothy Bradley always talking about what a fighter should do in the ring and how they should do more of this and how a guy should get knockouts and how a guy should have got this guy out of there. How could you say that when you only had 13 knockouts in your entire career? You wasn't known for knocking nobody out, but you demanding other non-knockout punches to get knockouts, right? Tim Bradley is a joke at the end of the day, man. He pushed false narratives and he's part of that agenda. He represents old media in my book, and they don't represent boxing because they push agendas and false narratives. And over here, Just Do Boxing, I shoot down false narratives. I don't push agendas. I'm not part of none of that. If it ain't building and lifting up the sport, I ain't a part of it. Salute to my TWT team, my TWT family, because that's all we're about. That's what we represent. We represent what's right with boxing. And at the end of the day, we're going to keep pushing and we're going to keep calling a spade a spade. Timothy Bradley, it was very distasteful for you to come out speaking on this man the way you did. You was wrong, straight up and down. And I guarantee you won't apologize at the end of the day. But salute to Tank Davis. I'm glad that him and his mother of his child was able to work their situation out, get the help that they desperately need, and move forward. And as we seen January 7th, he handled business against Hector Garcia and he got the stoppage. And now it's on to Ryan Garcia. So Ryan Garcia, it's time for you and your promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, to put up or shut up. You've been clout chasing his name for years and your promoter been helping you do it. So at the end of the day, get in there with Tank Davis or stop using that man's name. Get in there like a grown man and take that nap that you've been so desperately chasing since you've been speaking Tank Davis' name. I'm sick of it. I'm ready to see the fight. It's already enough clout chasing in the sport of boxing, and I'm shooting it down all 2023. I'm holding fighters accountable to the things that they say out of their mouths, and I'm not giving them an out. We're not protecting no fighters from no fighters. I'm no longer saying fighters are not ready. If you speak a guy's name, I'm going to assume that you're ready to fight. And I'm a damn sure as a fan demand that you get in there and stand on everything you've been saying. You get what I'm saying? This is the year of standing on business. 2023 is the year of standing on business in boxing and doing what you say you're going to do. Being a man of your word and moving accordingly in the sport, inside and outside of the sport. I'm all about growing, building, and getting to that next level. And these fighters should be doing the same thing. These older fighters shouldn't be coming out tearing down fighters of this current and younger generation, fighters that came after them. They should be leading by example, not sounding like salty, old grumpy men and criticizing fighters and being overly critical in situations where these fighters make mistakes, because at the end of the day, nobody is above making mistakes. You get what I'm saying? I agree with holding fighters accountable, holding their foot to the fire. We all we do is preach that over here on this channel. You know what I mean? Self-accountability. But at the end of the day, all blaming fighters and demonizing them when in fact you don't have all the details is you being part of the problem, because everybody else taking that approach and you being a student of the game. And you know, Timothy Bradley, Ninja Turtle Bradley, you being a Hall of Famer, now you should know better. You should know better, man. You should know better. Should know what it's like to get called out for something that you didn't do. You know, the sport is already has enough negative and corrupt things about it. You don't need to add to it by, making one of the best fighters, one of the most talented fighters we have in the sport, look like a monster at the end of the day and calling him a piece of shit because you think he's guilty of something that he's not. Man, but that's my thoughts, man. Y'all get in the comment section. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Timothy Bradley and his comments, man. Y'all think it was personal, or do you just think he was just giving his honest assessment? And at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their own assessment. I just think we have to be a lot more responsible with our voices, our platforms, and the things we say about the next man. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know if I gave boxing its just due, as I always do over here at Just Do Boxing. Y'all, until the next one, I'm out. Peace.